So hello there everyone, and welcome back to another video, F1 2018 Crew Mode. Today we are here for the Japanese Grand Prix around Suzuka. Now first of all, apologies for the delay in the upload. This was supposed to be coming, I believe, Wednesday night, but the traffic on the way home has been absolutely woeful over the past couple of nights. We've had so much rain, wind, people just don't know how to drive. And that's pretty much, as you're going to see later in the video, the case around here through 130R. Suzuka as well. I mean, only one person's ever pulled off an overtake at 130R. It's Kimi Räikkönen in real life, 2005. But Suzuka isn't a track that suits my driving style very well. I've never done very well here at all in the past. The only previous time we actually did anything when we went 3 wide last year in 2017 in the Toro Rosso. If you haven't seen that video, I'll leave a link to it in the top corner. But Hamilton and Bottas on pole, top front row, Vettel, Ricciardo on the rear. Leclerc is up in P6, so I'm only starting at woeful P9. See, it's not my time day. Raikkonen and Verstappen with penalties promotes Sorokin as high as 13th. He'll be departing. And of course Grosjean, Gasly, Stroll and Hulkenberg. All of those four are actually going to be in next year's game. But yes, now it's time to go down to the grid.
Okay, you've qualified higher than we expected, so let's try to build on this position throughout the race.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. And I must clarify, we originally actually qualified outside the top 10, so we got a free choice of tyre as well. Leclerc qualified in the top 10. We're going to be doing a one-stop, going from soft tyres to mediums. We're going to get ready for 5 red lights. Esteban Ocon, the man who's going to be moving to Mercedes as their test driver, is ahead of us. Away we go, and already it's the usual case of F1 2018 when the player gets a very shocking start and the AI get a little one that's tyre bit turning behind with a Wongo, and we've got front wing damage from Raikkonen, and Verstappen storms through as well. So it's a replay, let's see what happens. So we got pinched to the outside, gone 3 wide with Alonso and Verstappen. Alonso and Verstappen are then a little bit of 3 wide banging, as there goes a bit of my front end plate. Alonso loses out and Verstappen goes sailing through. But can we see if we can get back on the Dutchman? No, we cannot. We have to settle then for P11. So we've dropped a few places on the start to Verstappen and Raikkonen mainly. Gonna have to see if we can get that up because we've got lights as signs ahead of us. Moving up to that, we're actually going to go ahead of both Raikkonen and Verstappen definitely. Raikkonen we couldn't get on the exit of the hairpin. And Verstappen is going to try and come back down our inside now into 130R. Ooh, I think he lifted off. I mean, surely the AI, their aggression on this game is just too much this year. I've said this time and again, and it's just too much. And into map 3, Verstappen is adamant about going around the outside. He's not going to go around the outside, and Alonso is actually going to take P11 away from us. I believe somebody's been into the pits. No, not actually. Strike that. I think Sorokin has been into the pits on that one rather. Yellow flags ahead, so Alonso cannot go ahead for Verstappen, and that's Hamilton. Hamilton is round, and there we go. Collision number 1. Does he manage to keep it? Yes, he does. He keeps it out the barriers, and he's able to continue on. But surely that is his race over now, and he's lucky to get a point here today. Moving to lap 3 now. We've got Verstappen and Alonso now going side by side through 130R. Can they make this go? Oh, there's contact between the two. Oh dear. 130R and Alonso carries on. We've got yellow flag up ahead of us. I believe it is for Sebastian Vettel. We'll get a look at that in a moment. Actually, here he is now with a right front puncher. That's annoying for Vettel. He was doing very well. High up now. His main rival Lewis Hamilton has spun off his rear axle, but now he'll be down with Hamilton, and that's a great shame for Vettel to get a big chance to score some points this afternoon. He and Hamilton will be battling at the back now, so that'll be interesting. Seeing who comes the best out of them to at the end. Moving to lap 7 now. A couple of people have started to make their pit stops. Alonso is having a look around our inside. We try and close the door on Alonso, and Alonso is still there on our outside. We're going to close the door once again on Alonso, and eventually Alonso succeeds to place. Up ahead of us, we have Kimi Räikkönen, and he's battled Esteban Ocon, and he, unlike everybody else, of course, the master makes the move stick. Up ahead of us, we've got Carlos Sainz battling now with, I believe that, although it was Carlos Sainz battling behind us rather. I think that's actually Hulkenberg, actually, excuse me. But he went wide, and that is unfortunately it. And we move to lap 14 into the pits for one only stop. We actually did take the lead momentarily for the Japanese Grand Prix. But unfortunately, one thing I couldn't prevent is I forgot to set the team, because the team wanted to change front wing. I wasn't very happy about this, because I thought we could have jumped a lot of people in the pits. So the fractures between myself and the team are continuing to happen. That's going to drop us way outside the top 10 in P13 in a Toro Rosso Sun, which is really getting nice cold tyres as we come out the pits. So yes, not very happy with the team about that. And Vettel is coming through. We're going to let Sebastian going to go through. Oh good lord, please don't go through. You're going to have to miss. He does. That could have ended up being really nasty. Really, we'll let Vettel pass because he's on the softer tyre, and he's going to have DRS on us anyway. I mean, he's in last place anyway, so it doesn't really count anyway. On an overtake, but we'll just let him pass. We'll just pull to the right side, let him pass with DRS, and then get a bit of slipstream to finish at the end. And look at the speed he's got in that Ferrari. And as I said, Ferrari have promised us Raikkonen's seat from Season 2, which we will get to very soon. I have recorded all the way up to the end of Season 1. And here, of course, is Vettel. Yeah, that was very too close to comfort there with Vettel. I just don't understand why the AI have to be that aggressive. Especially, it's just they need. I think they need an aggression scale like they do in Project Cars 2 to sort this out, because it's just unacceptable, especially around Japan. But nevertheless, moving on, we've got Pierre Gasly up ahead of us, hoping to use Vettel to push on now, and try and keep with Vettel a little bit and try and stay behind. Up ahead we have Sergei Sorokin, who's yet to make a stop. He's doing a one-stop, and round goes Gasly. I think that's Gasly. It might be Hartley. It's definitely one of the... No, it is Hartley, excuse me. On the top, trying to overtake the Williams, and out he goes. Bye-bye, Hartley. And now Sorokin, well, he's got himself another number one enemy, Fernando Alonso. He's going to have a collision with him. Can Alonso stick it? He does. Boy. Got lucky there. Moving to lap 22 now. Pierre Gasly is now out of the race. So Honda have had a miserable afternoon with Toro Rosso. One car crashed out by Sorokin, the other with an engine penalty and engine failure. And jumping to lap 24 now, we have come into the bottom end of the top 10. We are under pressure from Sergio Perez, and he's much faster for India. But we are coming into the pits at the end of the lap to go on to a set of intermediate. So it is raining here in Suzuka. Teammates is in the pits. They're all coming in. DRS is being disabled as well, which is the universal sign for you must come into the pits. It's time to pit the intermediates, vice versa.
Pit box is currently full. Stay out on track. Stay out
We're going
on
to have
track.
to double stack a bit with Leclerc, which is going to be annoying.
Don't forget, box this lap.
And in we come, nicely down. 10th place it is. I think everybody is in. Is somebody going to continue on? That's the Renault coming out there. Hulkenberg, who we locked up earlier. Oh, there's the delay we didn't want to see. Do we lose in this block?
You'll be racing as you leave the pits.
No, and we don't lose position, and we all go through.
Up to speed now. Let's get some heat
we've got 3 laps on these tyres, and then to finish off the race. And once again, we get a little bit of cold tyres out of the race, but Perez is sort of really faltered, as with Force India on the last couple of F1 games. They don't really do well in the wet. USA last year on my channel comes to mind, but across the line, P10, a point that Japan will have to do, because the only other time he ever scored a point was, of course, in F1 2017 when driving Toro Rosso. So I'll take P10. Leclerc was only P8 in the end as well. Hulkenberg and Sainz finishing both ahead of us. Ocon finishing P6. And of course Bottas winning the race as well, which is more than he's managed to do in real life. With Raikkonen, Ricciardo 3rd, 4th. Hamilton did manage to, of course, come back through the field to finish P2 in the end, by doing a very timing the strategies well. A couple of people lost out. Vettel lost out with 3 stops. And of course Gasly and Horse and Alonso got disqualified for some reason. But in the championship we remain in P8. Bottas is now at 2nd, with Vettel's not scoring, and Raikkonen dropping some way behind Ricciardo and Verstappen, about a couple of light years behind because of how slow the Red Bull is. In terms of the constructors, we remain in P6, but we are catching Haas for P5. That would be incredible if we could get P5 in this series. But yes, we are leading the rival against both our teammate and Brendan Hartley, the man who has been pulled up, has been made way for Alexander Albon for next year. There's a big round of resource points, 289. Team approval, no, but I don't think anybody really cares about it because it's all broken.
Great work. That's exactly the kind of result I'm looking for. Keep it up. We've received invitations to new historic events.
Okay, 10th place is
able
what?
to choose whether or not to participate before the end of this.
No, that's a no, Claire. Emma, rather. So yes, we've got quite a few resource points. So let's see what we can do on the upgrades. We've already got a power. Now, unfortunately, something the game didn't tell me is we have an adaptation, of course, for durability. So we're going to spend all the points on getting all that done, because we don't want to, even if we are leaving a Sauber, we don't want to leave them with bad durability. They're in a good place as it is, and I think with Leclerc and Raikkonen, depending on what the AI team does, that ultimately depends. We've got a couple more left to do, which we'll do in the following races, really. But that is where I'm going to leave it today. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new to see more episodes of F1 2018 Cameron when they come out. And of course, F1 2019 Mod Career and Final Fantasy F1 2019 are both coming very soon to the channel. So stay tuned if you want to see them. But until the next video, I'll see you next time. Take care, enjoy the rest of your day, and goodbye.